Hello everyone, Ian Bailey here, back with another video, and thank you so much to those who have subscribed and liked the past video. I'm aiming to do a new video every single week. I'm kind of playing around with the idea of the days of when to release these. I was going to be releasing this video on Thursday, however, I thought it's so close to the session convention that even if you wanted to book a ticket, it's probably too late. So I brought this video forward just a few days to give you a chance to book a ticket if you haven't booked a ticket yet for the Session Convention 2024. Now on this video I want to go through my top 10 reasons why I love the Session Convention, and these are in no particular order, so let's start with number 1. Okay, reason number 1 why I love the Session Convention, very basic reason, but it means a lot to me. It's the fact that it's in January. That's right, Christmas has come and gone, the new year has been welcomed, ushered in, and now you're stuck with the winter blues with nothing to do it during January. Now, it makes everything a lot better, all right? Everyone's depressed, they're going back to work. You're probably going back to work, just like I've been going back to work, and yet the session comes and rescues me and gives me a little bit of joy to bring me through till Blackpool. So, the first reason is that it's just after Christmas and it makes your January a lot more fun. Reason number 2 is another kind of weird reason, the fact that it's local for me. I live about half an hour away from Heathrow. It is held at Heathrow Airport, not in the terminus, all right, or the terminal. That would be a bit weird. It's held in a hotel just outside of Heathrow, very easy for people to fly into from other countries. I think you can get a little pod, a little driverless pod, and it will take you straight to the hotel. It is a very good reason. It's lovely for me that it's half an hour away. Now I will say that it doesn't, and I'm not the only one to say this, it doesn't feel as exciting as when it was in Gloucester. Years ago, it was held in a smaller hotel over in Gloucester, in Cheltenham. And that was the first time I ever went to the session, was when it was in Cheltenham. And the way I heard about the session, and I've been into magic for maybe about 15 years before I even heard about magic conventions. And the one convention that I heard about was the session, and that was through Twitter. And the reason why was Jay Sankey was receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the session convention. And so I got to meet a hero of mine in the flesh. And not only that, my eyes were open to this amazing world of magic conventions. And when it was in Cheltenham, it was a smaller hotel, it was more niche, it was kind of smaller, more intimate, I should say. And I'm not sure if it's nostalgia or not, okay? I think a lot of magicians, when they look back at those days, there's a lot of nostalgia. And maybe we will look back in years to come at the convention when it's held in Heathrow, and we'll go, oh, do you remember the days when it was held at the lovely Heathrow Airport? Do you remember those days? Those were good days. So I will still say that although it's not in Cheltenham, for me it's a plus or a bonus, a plonus I should say, that it is very local for me. That may not be any advantage to you, you might write off that point completely, but reason number 2, it's local. Reason number 3. Now reason number 3 kind of goes on the back of reason number 2, and that's the fact that they've recently limited this to only 400 seats. Now 400 is still quite a lot, but I think what they've tried to do is they've tried to bring back the sessioning kind of environment that it once was when it was in Cheltenham, and they're trying to bring it back to where it is now in Heathrow. So what I like the fact is that it's limited to 400 people, makes it very, very different to Blackpool. Now it's going to be this year my third year at Blackpool. Crazy that I haven't been to more of those. But Blackpool is, everyone says it's a convention like no other, right? And it is, that's very, very true. Blackpool, it's a lot to take in. The session convention, it's way more intimate. Still quite big at 400, but still a lot more intimate than what it would be at 4,000 or 5,000 people like Blackpool. So the session is great in the fact that you get a chance to meet the people you want to meet because it's only limited to 400 people. That's reason number 3. Reason number 4 is, of course, the lecturers. The lecturers. And for me, like I've mentioned, Jay Sankey was a massive highlight for me, right? To be in the room with him, to meet him, to see his lecture was phenomenal for me as a younger magician. And now I'm meeting loads of lecturers, I should say, that I've heard of and I've really wanted to meet, and they've been on the bucket list. And the session convention have had massive names in the past, I should say. Once again, if we go back to Cheltenham, all right, for just a moment. One year, we had Darren Brown being interviewed. And as a guest, we had Dynamo, now Stephen Frayne. He was there. Plus, David Blaine rocks up. That's right, David Blaine rocks up as a guest. Now, I did get to sit next to David Blaine. Maybe I can put up a photo if I've got it. I sat next to him for a whole lecture. But when I say that, he was about 3 or 4 empty seats away from me, but it's still sitting next to him at a lecture. This was a year when Juan Tamariz was there as well, so maybe that was the thing that brought them all together. But the guests and the lecturers are really kind of on the same level, right? You get some big names that just turn up because they want to be a guest there, right? Not because they're working there, but because they're just a guest. But also the lectures. Now for me, Luc Jamay is a highlight every single year, right? He's there, he's done a lecture pretty much every single year for the past I don't know how many years. And normally he does a mentalism lecture, but over the past couple of years, he started to take classic pieces of magic and has performed them in a Luc Jamay-esque type of way. Last year it was the kind of the coins with the cork and the cylinder and coin trick. His thinking behind that is incredible. The gimmick he came up with and the workings of it is phenomenal. And I think the year before that, he did card tricks, he did a whole lecture on that. The man is incredible, very talented guy. I love his mentalism stuff, but also the fact that he's now kind of gone into the magic side is just very intriguing to see how he would take a magic trick and what he would do with it. So for me, the lectures have always been very, very good. Now, the lectures this year, once again, some I love and know, and some of them I've never heard of, and it's going to be great to meet those other people and to see their shows and how they perform. I know David Stone is going to be there. I've never seen him in the flesh. His lectures are always very fun, and also a lot of in-jokes for magicians, so as magicians it's fun to watch as well. So the lecturers are always a hit at the session convention, and I feel like the session 2024 is going to be no different. Reason number five kind of links on. It's like I thought this through. It links on to reason number 4 because it is the sessioning, right? We call it the session convention because they want to encourage sessioning. Now, what is sessioning? Okay, sessioning is where you go up to someone and you say, all right, and they go, yeah, you're right. Go, have you seen this trick? And they go, no, that's not bad. Have you seen this one? And he goes, oh wow, that's pretty good. That's the kind of sessioning that happens at magic conventions. Sometimes it's a lot more exciting than that. I found it certainly a lot more exciting than that. When you get special people like Tobias turning up with stuff that you've never seen before, he rocks up and he gets it more exciting, all right? Mario Lopez turns up, he makes it more exciting. I turn up and I make it dull, all right? But either way, sessioning is great. Just to jazz with other magicians, share ideas, show tricks that maybe you've never released before. For me, it's a great opportunity for me to show kind of my friends and other people tricks that are just on the cusp of being released. So you've got a great opportunity to see all that. But the sessioning, meeting people, hanging out with people and having a drink and just having a laugh is one of the best things you can do at a convention. And the session convention leaves a lot of time for that to happen. So that is another reason why I'm not going to say every time, I love the session convention. Reason number 6 is interesting. It is a recent thing that they have added, which is the base camp Now, this base camp idea is a great idea, and a lot of people, when they turn up to a Magic convention, normally are turning up, for the first time, and they have never been to one of these crazy events before. They don't know who to speak to, they don't know anyone, they've maybe seen people's DVDs, read their books, and they don't feel like they can approach them. And so it's easy to feel very much alone at these events. I've certainly felt like that many times. Have I gone to a convention and I don't really know anyone, they don't know me, and it's just, you can feel like you're on your own. And what they've recently started doing is a thing called Base Camp. Now, this is a great way of you basically going to a organised gathering within the convention itself, where people will give an introduction to the convention, introduce themselves, all the runners and the people leading it will introduce themselves. And it's a great way of breaking the ice and kind of helping people feel like they're in it together, right? I've never seen this done really at a lecture or a convention before. And I think it's a great idea just to be sensitive to those who are nervous, even about being in crowds, especially since COVID. Some people find social anxiety has really affected them. And so it's great to have a place where you can literally just sign your name, sign up for Base Camp, and you've got a place that you can go where you're guaranteed to have a friendly smile and someone be nice to you at a convention and introduce you to people that you want to be introduced to. So I think it's a great idea, and I think it's very sensitive to a lot of the people who turn up to these conventions and feel on edge, and I think that's a great addition that they have recently brought to the conventions. Another reason I absolutely love the session convention is the dealers. That's right, the dealers. Now, there is an advantage, and I am now a dealer, right? In a legal sense, I want to clarify, in the magical trick dealer way, inclination. But sometimes when you go to an event, like a convention, the dealers is such a massive thing where people end up just walking around the dealer's hall, walking around, and never actually going to any of the lectures. And so I think it's a great idea, and I'm not endorsing it completely because I think there's advantages to both, having them there all the time and only having them on a limited time. But I do think it adds something to this convention just to have the dealers there on the Sunday morning for a few hours, right? It means that people can relax, they can watch the lectures, they can enjoy things, they're not going out spending all their money and wandering around aimlessly in a little hall that has no windows, right? For some reason, none of these dealers' halls have windows. You can't see outside, and you're just wandering around and around, right? Aimlessly. So I think it's an advantage, the fact that as a punter, I think it's an advantage to go there and just to enjoy the convention what it is, and actually have a set aside time, right, on a Sunday morning to go there, to blow all your money in one go and then be done with it, right? So that is an advantage for me, and the fact that it doesn't take over the whole convention. Now, as a dealer now, I would probably look at that as a negative. Of course I would, right? Because I would want that to be there selling my tricks, selling my wares, and I would love people to walk aimlessly in a circle, and hopefully by the 10th time of them going round, they might want to see something and maybe purchase something. So as a dealer, not so good, and I can understand why some of the dealers are upset by the session and the way that they organise it, but as a punter, I'm torn is what I'm saying. As a punter, it is nice to be going and just to enjoy the social elements before spending any money. Another reason why I like the session is the fact that the lectures normally start a little bit later in the morning, right? And this goes off the back of reason number 5, if I am in order, of the sessioning that's at the session convention, right? They want people to feel free to stay up late and wander about, have a lot of social time, catch up with friends they haven't spoken to in ages, and they really want to focus on the sessioning, right, which is a great part of any convention. So the fact that the lectures start later means that you can lie in, you can sleep in, you can go and have your greasy spoon breakfast that should be another reason, at the hotel, and then walk in when you're ready to then learn some more magic. Reason number 9, we're almost there. Like I said, not in any particular order, all right? But I'm hoping that you're enjoying this. Another reason why I like the session convention is the fact that the Vanishing Ink stand always is open, right? That goes off the back of what I was saying about the dealers hall, but the Vanishing Ink stand is always open. But you get to see brand new releases that are coming before Blackpool, right? Normally every Magic dealer has a big release before Blackpool, and normally it sells out straight away. But Vanishing Ink will have a few items there which you'll get to see before everyone else at Blackpool, with the other thousands of people who missed out, and you may be able to purchase an exclusive product before it's officially released. It's always interesting to go to that stand to see what they've got going on there. People will demonstrate it. George is normally behind the stand and he'll demonstrate any new trick that you want to see. And as always, the quality with Vanishing Ink products is through the roof. Their books are beautiful, and so bring a hanky just to dribble in as you look at all the wares and you wish that you could afford everything on that stand. And the final reason, and this may not apply to many of you at all, but it is free for young magicians to attend. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of who applies and what the kind of criteria is. Maybe I should have done some research, that's probably a good idea. But I know that they have a charity set up to help young magicians go to events with their parents, which they may not be able to afford. And I think it's a great idea what they've done there. And I know the London Magic Convention is another great convention that I love, and they have tickets available for those who just can't afford to go. And all they need to do is just email Andy Nyman and Preston, and just basically just say, look, I can't afford, can I still come? And no questions asked, they'll let them come. And I know that Vanishing Ink are doing this with their children's charity as well. And I think it's really nice to have that. I think it's great because in an age where we're struggling to afford certain things, and things like magic lectures and magic conventions are really beneficial to the mind and the soul more than people realise. And I think the opportunity to hang out with people and to meet your heroes at a young age and to be encouraged by those that you've learned from is a phenomenal thing, and really does help people advance in their magic craft. And so Vanishing Ink, well done for having this charity set up so that you can help other people, you can help the young people get into magic. And so there we go, those are the 10 reasons. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. These are just 10 reasons that I love the Magic Convention. I've actually dressed in a kind of a Vanishing Ink-esque red for this. Hopefully you've appreciated that as well. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. There will be a lot more content coming out. In fact, I'm trying to do a highlights video for the session convention, so check my video out next week. It should be back at the normal time on a Thursday, where you can see all of the best highlights from my perspective of the convention. But please comment below and tell me what reasons why you love the session that maybe I didn't mention, and make sure you come and say hello to me at the convention. I would love to see you. This channel is very, very new, right? So I know I'm not walking into a convention where everyone's gonna know me and, you know, will say, oh, subscribe to your channel. If you do subscribe, then please do say it. It's very encouraging to know. But it will be great to see you all there. I can't wait. It's very exciting that it's going to pick my January up. Please don't forget to also visit ianbaileymagic.com. On there you'll be able to purchase all of my wares, all of my products that I've released. I won't have a stand at the session convention, but you do have the option of purchasing before the session convention, and if you leave a note on the order that you will be wanting to collect at the session, then I will bring it with me and you will save some money on postage. So click the free postage option. I do offer free postage on all of my orders, all my UK orders I should say, but rather than you having to have special delivery to get it sooner, you can just say that you want to pick it up at the session convention and I will bring it with me and we'll shake hands and I'll thank you for the order, and it will be like I've hand delivered it to you myself. So once again, thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye bye.